for later, but I'll just make it mount VMshare. Hopefully that'll work. If it doesn't, yeah, I'll be going through it again. So that's that. We may want to have more video memory as well here. 64 maybe. And this is under display, of course, this display tab, which is basically just configuring your graphics card, how much you want in the, how much RAM you want in the graphics card, how many monitors. The scale factor determines how big the actual, like sometimes it just ends up being a like a window appearing once you're booting this, the virtual machine. If you want to make that any bigger, you can use scale factor here. This here, of course, is the type of graphics controller you want. So the Super VGA obviously has it has more resolution, and what you know, it appears bigger on the screen. You can have more. There's more color in the screen, so that means that you can. I suppose it looks more lifelike in that. 3D acceleration, we do want to. We'll see what happens. System, of course, this is where we set our RAM before, and the chipset, it should be fine. Pointing device, now this may be an issue. I'll see how it goes with USB tablet. This is what I mean, this has just been started from scratch, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so in order to boot your virtual machine, you're pressing start here. And what's it telling me? Please select the virtual optical disk, which you already have, so that's okay. We just press start. Now see, you can see how this is really tiny. Yeah, that's because we need to change the scale factor, okay? So that's what we'll go and do now. Yeah. Now it's difficult if you don't know what you're doing. Once you've this is what I mean. You'll be learning along with me here. The host key is what you will be using if you cannot get your mouse sort of out of this window, and it's defined as the left what's this? It's left thing here. I don't know what you call that, but it's to the left of your spacebar, basically. The command button left of spacebar. You press that, and then that will mean that your mouse will be captured inside the box. If you want to get it out, so you will be clicking on that. That'll enter the box. Now, if you want to get out, you press the host button, which is to the left of the spacebar. So you press that, and then you've got your mouse back here, and you can just close the virtual machine here. And we want to pair it off because we can't exactly see. It's too tiny. And in order to fix this, you'll be going to settings, the settings icon here, button, and you'll be going to display. I had that issue before in the beginning when I was doing these. And we just changed the scale factor to 200, or anything like that, 250. And then I'll make this, we'll see how we go with 64. And then try again. Bring it up. That's better, isn't it? Yeah. We can read it at least. Alright, so this is the point you will get. If you're doing this using a physical machine, this is the point you will get once you've done, gone into your BIOS and made the DVD boot when your computer starts. Okay, and this is the screen that will appear. Now you want to select the language, of course, depending on where you are. Where I am, it's English, and it's done it all automatically for me. Just press enter, and we should get the Trisquel Linux loading splash screen. And the computer's going to get a bit hot, maybe. Mine is anyway, because of both recording a screen and running this. Okay. So what you have now is the virtual. This is the live DVD, sort of the live operating system of Trisquel Linux. So this is not actually an install here. This is just a operating system running. You can consider it running off the DVD, right? It's using your RAM as a hard disk. It's not installed anywhere. It's using your RAM to have the operating system run, and it's using a RAM for storage as well. So useful in the case that you can't boot your machine, maybe off your hard disk or something corrupted like that. But in this case, we just want to be installing this onto our machine. Depending, if you want, if you want to try it out and see if you like it, by all means do so. You can do, everything is available here. You can browse the internet. You can do sound and video things, multimedia. So if you want, the internet's up here somewhere. You got email, web browser, Office, of course, which is the LibreOffice, is the free version of Office. But what you want to do, if you wanted this to be permanent or a dual boot, you want to go to install Trisquel 8.0. So this is what we're going to do. Double click. Okay, so now we're at the welcome screen finally. And we want to select the language in this case, because it's Australia, it will be English. Continue. Preparing to install. Download updates. No. We don't want to do that because in the case of this this tutorial, it's going to take too long for it to download. You can do this later. It will just use up more time. If you have a really fast connection, you might want to do it because it will download in zilch time. But for me, I'm just going to leave that. So what we have here is some various options. Erase disk and install Trisquel. Now, this will remove everything from your hard disk, as the warning says. Depending on whether you want Trisquel to be the only operating system that you're using, which is you probably don't want to necessarily do that if you're just doing this for educational, where you want to learn how to use it and maybe use it later on. That would be the ideal situation for the live operating system, which is just leaving it uninstalled and just booting directly. But in this case, this is the actual installation. What I'm going through in this tutorial is the installation of the entire operating system onto your, and it's using your entire hard disk. So we will be leaving this as it is. This won't actually, in VirtualBox, this won't actually erase your entire Mac hard disk. It's using that file as I was referring to before, that hard disk file. So what that means is that you'll just be erasing everything inside that hard disk file. You won't be erasing your whole Mac. So don't worry too much about that. Next option here, encrypt the new Trisquel integration for security. Now we don't want to do that. The reason being, for a start, there probably won't be any massively sensitive data, and encrypting it makes it run really slow because it has to decrypt each time you read something from the hard disk and so on, and even write to it as well. So we'll deselect that and use LLVM with the new Trisquel relation. This will set up. It allows taking snapshots and using partition resizing. Now, this isn't going to be needed unless you're an advanced user, I guess. Unless you're going to be adding partitions later and you need to sort of resize them. Maybe for, if you want to have a partition, this is what it means by partition, that you might have a section for your hard disk for the operating system and another section for the data, which will be separate and appear as different hard disks. But in this case, we're just going to be using the entire hard disk for both for everything. So we'll have the home directory and everything in the operating system. Only one hard disk, only on one. Okay, so uncheck that. And of course, this will just be doing it all on its own. So you'll be configuring it. The installation program will configure everything for you. If you don't want that to happen, you can just go to something else and then go through it manually. But this is the easiest for new people here. This is what we're going to be doing. Install now. Now, yeah, as you can see here, it's automatically sort of sectioned your hard disk here into parts. These are different parts here. You don't need to be concerned with these. This is where all your operating system and all your files will sort of be. The next part here is for your swap, which is the memory used to supplement RAM, to make it appear bigger. If you've ever used, so you're basically using your hard disk for RAM as well. So we'll just do what it says, continue. And you'll see here this thing means that it's doing something, so we'll just leave it until it's ready. And of course, we'll be choosing where we are now. In my case, it's Perth, so continue. It's got that offer obviously from the internet. There'll be indicated down here whether it's on the internet or not, which I'll look at later. Continue. Where you just select it if it's wrong for yourself. That sort of that color change around the button indicates that I've pressed continue, but yeah, it just makes sure that that clock symbol turns up. It's spinning around in circles. I didn't. Okay, so here we want well, what I was told in in TAFE was the alternative, not Dvorak, sorry. Where is it? Sorry. It should be US alternative English or something. But let's see here. You won't want Dvorak because you will have lots of trouble with that. But yeah, there it is, US International. Hey. Anyway, you select it. So we've got a bit of lag here. This one, US International, Alternative International, with no dead keys, I think it is. If you have trouble, just give me well, if we have trouble, we'll troubleshoot it together. Let's go. That will just allow you to enter special characters and things using Alt and Alt and the various key combinations in order to get special characters. And of course, we have to make sure we press continue properly. It's not registering. I guess it's running out of resources. Name. My name's David, so there. Your username. So your computer's name here. This will be what will be showing up on the network. If you ever want to access folders via your network, that's what the name will show up as your computer being. Username. This is your username for the actual Trisquel Linux. I'm just going to put Dave, whatever. And of course, this is the password here. So I'll just use any random one here. This is equivalent to your password, and this always is whether it matches or not. And I'll just get it to log automatically. This is what I mean. It's easy to just log automatically. And that just doesn't show up any screen when it starts asking you for your password. Otherwise, if you want it to show up, go here. But I'm just going to do this for the sake of simplicity and ease of use. Alright, so when I'm going to get to the stage where, now this is the stage where it's installing it. So, essentially, once this finishes, you'll get, you can see this thing going around. Once this finishes, you will be basically done for the installation.